Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The North Carolina Railroad Company, or NCRR, agreed to purchase one of Greensboro's historic passenger train stations from Norfolk Southern Railroad for its preservation and beneficial redevelopment. The City of Greensboro, the Preservation Greensboro Development Fund, and Downtown Greensboro Incorporated support the endeavor. The North Carolina Railroad plans a major restoration to the 123-year-old building. Located in a downtown district, the building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, making it eligible for federal and state historic preservation tax credits. The building served as a new railroad passenger station, replacing what is believed to have been Greensboro's first train station. The recent restoration of Greensboro's nearby 1895 Cascade Saloon drew focus to the former rail station's potential. Renovating the historic station will reinforce Greensboro's status as the birthplace of the North Carolina Railroad under Governor John Motley Moorhead, who resided at Greensboro's Blandwood Mansion. The city recognizes historic preservation as an economic driver. This project illustrates NCRR's priorities of economic development and community partnership. As a result, the historic building will once again provide a new gateway to Greensboro's growth and future prosperity. The City of Greensboro has hired Latoya Caesar Crawford as its first intergovernmental relations manager. She assumed the role on Monday, August 1st. Caesar Crawford will foster productive relationships with community stakeholders and elected officials, as well as being the liaison for federal and state lobbying efforts on behalf of the city. In her words, Crawford says, "I'm thrilled to be the first to serve the City of Greensboro in this new role. I see this as an opportunity to connect the exceptional work and vital resources of multiple stakeholders while prioritizing outcomes to meet the needs of the greater good of our community." Caesar Crawford comes to the city after serving as the principal of Greensboro College Middle College. She was Director of Equity and Engagement for Iredell-Statesville Schools and the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Mooresville Graded School District. Additionally, she served the New York City Department of Education, Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, and KIPP-NC, a network of public charter schools. Caesar Crawford was the founder and director of Partnership for Equity in Statesville, where she served as a liaison for the Statesville city manager, chief of police, other officials, and local faith and nonprofit leaders on initiatives regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion. Two members of the city's Housing and Neighborhood Development Department have been appointed to higher positions within the team. Cynthia Blue, Manager of Housing Service for the department, is now Assistant Director of Housing and Strategy. Blue has been with the department since 2001. Her experience and leadership are critical to addressing the department's strategy of developing and increasing affordable housing in the city. Unica Smalls, financial analyst, is now Assistant Director of Finance and Administration. She has more than 10 years of experience in affordable housing, redevelopment, and financial management. Smalls has been with the city for 2 years. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Coronavirus is in the community and we have to adjust to its presence, but it doesn't mean you can't live your lives. We just want you to be safe. A lot of people are beginning to go back out and do things, so let's talk about some ways to stay safe. When you're out in public, it's important that you always bring your mask. A helpful tip is to just go ahead and mark the outside of your mask with a marker. That way you can keep track of which side is outside and which side is inside. It's very important that you wear your mask the proper way. You take the loop of the mask, go ahead and put that behind your ear, making sure it's secure, and then tuck it under your chin and cover your nose. When you remove your mask, you do the same thing. You do the reverse. You're going to go ahead and take the loop off your ear, and then you're going to pull your mask down. Don't grab the front of the mask. Just go ahead and pull it off of your face, and then wash your hands. If you wear a cloth mask, wash it and dry it with high heat in the dryer. Don't just keep wearing the same mask over and over. Cough into your sleeve. Still practice good hand hygiene. Wash your hands every time you touch your mask. It's not 100% of a seal, but it decreases the risk of cross-contamination if someone talks or sneezes, and also prevents you from getting someone else sick. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. The proper technique is to make sure that you wash from the fingertips all the way to your wrist, allowing your hands to get in full contact with the soap, lathering completely and rinsing. Items like pens, doorknobs, keyboards, remote controls, we call those high contact surfaces. Bring your own pen, save yourself some time with having to decontaminate everything. Also clean off your steering wheel. Many of us eat in the car and we're rushing, so we eat our meal, touch the steering wheel, we touch our cell phones, and we can also contaminate ourselves that way. So wash your hands often and make sure that you are using your hand sanitizer when you're out and about. If you choose to wear gloves, they're single-use items, so you want to discard your gloves, not touching multiple surfaces because you'll contaminate everything. When out in public or with groups larger than 5 or 10 people, you always want to maintain social distancing. That means that you maintain about 6 feet between you and the next person when possible. It's also important to avoid crowded spaces when you can. Many places are beginning to limit how many people they let into stores, but you could do that on your own by just scanning the room and then waiting until the crowd passes. If you have symptoms of coronavirus, stay home. Call one of the many clinics at Cone Health and you can do a virtual visit, and we'll talk with you about testing. Coronavirus is in our community, so as we adjust to this new normal, we want you to continue to live your lives. Just to remember to keep safe, keeping each other protected by following these tips.
Property tax bills have been mailed to all Greensboro households. We'll share some tips from the county tax office, and construction continues on East Market Street. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. By now, property owners receive their tax notices in the mail. The Guilford County Tax Department wants to ensure residents know what to expect, including due dates and available support. To help property owners navigate the process, the county's tax office shared the following tips. Guilford County calculates the property tax by using your 2022 reappraised value, which is the market value of the property as of January 1st, 2022. Reappraisals happen every 5 years. If you pay by August 31st, you will receive a 0.5% discount as an incentive for early payment. Paying your taxes online is easy to do. Simply visit the county's website. If your property taxes are paid through escrow, be prepared to receive a notice instead of a bill. Property tax relief programs are available for qualifying property owners. Visit the county's website to determine if you qualify to submit an application. Property taxes are due on September 1st, and the last day to pay is January 5th, 2023. For more information, visit the county's website or call 336-641-3363. Traffic delays can be expected if you travel along East Market Street from South Dudley Street to Murrow Boulevard. Waterline rehabilitation work is causing the occasional lane closures and delays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day until Monday, August 22nd. Directional signs and traffic cones are in place, and motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes to avoid the area altogether. Construction dates and times are subject to change due to inclement weather or last-minute revisions to the work schedule. The city's water rehabilitation program is funded by water and sewer rates. To learn more about lane and road closures or to request email notifications about road construction, visit the city's website. Visual artist Thea Clark is the latest to be featured in the Grow Residency at the Greensboro Cultural Center. The residency takes place this entire month and includes open hours for the public to work alongside Clark and contribute to large-scale fiber arts pieces. Additionally, Clark will offer workshops to make sun prints and enamel jewelry. Clark's residency will examine how humans and nature interact, specifically when it comes to climate change, with a focus on creating a sculpture and fiber art installations. The community will have an opportunity to meet Thea on Thursday, August 4th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All events are free to attend unless otherwise specified. Registration is required for certain workshops. Grow is located next to the Davie Street entrance of the Greensboro Cultural Center, located on 200 North Davie Street. To learn more about the residency or to register for a workshop, visit the city's website. The extreme afternoon highs have carried over from July, posing a threat for people who work outdoors. Coming up after the break, find out the best way to safeguard yourself from heat stroke. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. According to the organization Safe Kids Worldwide, on average, every 10 days, a child dies from heat stroke in a vehicle. In more than half of these deaths, the caregiver forgot the child was in the car. Joining me now to talk about the dangers associated with the summer heat and how to stay safe is Dee Shelton. She is the life safety educator with the Greensboro Fire Department. Hello, Dee. Welcome back.
Thanks, Carla.
Well, we are certainly in the dead of summer, and it is probably prime temperatures for heat stroke. How do we know, what should we be looking for to know that we're in danger of a heat stroke?
A lot of times we're outside working in this heat, you get caught up in what you're doing and you're not really paying attention until you start really having a lot of these symptoms. So obviously, if you're not feeling well, you're feeling nauseous, you're feeling dizzy, those are things that we need to pay attention to. If you're out in this heat and you are not sweating, that is a problem.
Okay, so with that being said, 98.6 degrees is your normal body temperature. Where would you be if you were having heat stroke?
Really, your body temperature as it rises, it's really not good. So, but anywhere in the range up to 106 degrees within a 10 to 15 minute period, that's not good. We need to be getting a check on that.
Okay, and I know that can affect your brain.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we said in the intro that kids or pets are often left in the car. What kind of strategies do parents or caregivers need to put in place to ensure that doesn't happen?
So there's a couple of things that different people use, and you just really have to find what works best for you. You know, a lot of times we're in the car, we're driving, we're thinking about work, thinking about things that need to be done, and we forget, oh, we didn't go by the daycare, or we didn't go by the babysitter. Put, something in the car seat that's in there when the child's not there, but when the child's in the seat, put it up front. Something like the child's teddy bear, something to remind you, if that's in the seat beside of me, then my child is in the seat. Or maybe you're putting your lunch box, your pocketbook, cell phone. We're not supposed to be texting and driving, so put the cell phone back there in the seat with the child. And before you get out of the vehicle, you're going to need those things, so it will remind you to go back there and you'll see the child.
Okay, well, we certainly have seen the tragic results, especially with children.
Yes.
Being left for just a few minutes is all it takes in the dead of summer.
Right.
Now give us your best tips as we get through the rest of summer so that we can avoid heat stroke altogether.
Okay, when you're outside working, of course, hydration. If we're not drinking fluids, and a lot of times people don't realize you can even dehydrate on just plain water.
Yes.
So we need to be maybe using something such as Gatorade or the Powerades, those things that have those electrolytes. Don't drink them straight. You want to cut them 50-50 with water. But you need to be hydrating the whole time you're out there. So, and then pay attention to your body. If you're not feeling well and you're starting to feel, you feel yourself and you're not sweating, go ahead and take a break. It's time to go in and take that break.
Okay, so here we are in August and it's still hot. So these are really great tips, and we always are so appreciative when you come in because you give us timely topics that we need to be mindful of, and that makes us look forward always to your next visit.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Greensboro residents can take advantage of Guilford County's new Crisis Lifeline by simply dialing 988. Residents can call or text 988 from anywhere in the United States anytime they have a mental or behavioral health crisis. In Guilford County, the Behavioral Health Crisis Center is preparing to see a potential influx of new patients thanks to this new, easy-to-remember number. The Crisis Lifeline provides a trained crisis counselor to listen and help link callers to community-based providers who can deliver a full range of crisis care services as needed. This new service is free and completely confidential. In 2020, a suicide took place every 11 minutes in the U.S. Suicide is a leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 34. Mental health challenges are the leading cause of disability and poor life outcomes in young people. The Guilford County Behavioral Health Crisis Center is open 24/7 and walk-ins are welcomed. The center is located at 931 3rd Street in Greensboro. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's see how the city of Greensboro celebrates diversity in the workplace.
Equity and inclusion are vital for the City of Greensboro's ability to grow and innovate in such a fast-changing environment. One Greensboro is a monthly show that highlights some of the ways the Office of Equity and Inclusion honors the observances listed on our Heritage Calendar and spotlights a City of Greensboro employee in a segment we call The One. These observances are an integral part of the National Equal Employment Opportunity and Civil Rights Program and encourage us to live as one people, one community, one Greensboro.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Development Services Division is educating homeowners about the role it plays with solar panel installation. In an effort to help residents navigate the process, staff has included the details in a portal available on the city's website. Solar panels are becoming more prevalent in Greensboro as an energy-efficient source of power. It's important to note electrical permits and associated inspections are required. It is the solar panel company's responsibility, not homeowners, to work with the city and follow these requirements. Learn the status of a permit and inspection process for an installation by entering the street address into the online portal. The portal tracks when contractors apply for permits, when the permit is received, and when contractors request inspections and when they are scheduled. For more information and to navigate the portal, visit the city's website or call the Development Services Office at 336-373-2155. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Public Library. I had the pleasure of moderating a panel discussion entitled When Journalists Gather. It's part of the library's Anthems of Change series. I was joined by CNN political analyst, lawyer, and activist Bakari Sellers, managing editor and publisher of the Carolina Peacemaker, Africa Kilimanjaro, and Shaban Riley, news anchor from Spectrum News 1 in Raleigh. The Van Dyke Performance Space in the Greensboro Cultural Center set the backdrop as we explored the representation, challenges, and impact of African Americans in print and broadcast media. The panel discussion is available to view on the city's YouTube channel. Way to go, Greensboro Public Library. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO. Plus, GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.